Namaste. The story starts with one of the finest kings of Hastinapura, Shantanu. Shantanu, once when he was walking across the river Ganga, he happened to meet a damsel he fell in love with. He was amused by her, and eventually he got married to her. But before marrying the lady, Shantanu had to give one promise. And the promise was that no matter what she does, he will never intervene in her decision. Shantanu thought that's what every husband does, listens to his wife quietly. So let me as well as do it. But when the first child was born, he was shocked to see that the mother of the child had taken the child, went to the river Ganga, and had dipped the child into the water. Shantanu was shocked, but he was in love with his wife. He didn't want to lose her, so he kept quiet. She did the same thing to the next six children. When she was doing the same thing to the seventh child, he stopped. And the lady said, "You know, Shantanu, you have broken your promise. So now I am leaving. However, I'm going to take this child along with me. And when he is 18 years of age, I will bring him back to you." Shantanu had no choice but to agree. For 18 years, Shantanu lived a hermetic life. He focused all his energy, all his efforts in the well being of his kingdom. And no doubt the kingdom prospered. It became one of the most influential kingdoms in the subcontinent during his time. Then, when the boy was 18 years of age, Shantanu's wife, as promised, returned his son back to him. Shantanu was overjoyed. He crowned his only son as the Yuvaraja, so he was next in line for the succession. He was so overjoyed. Things went on quite well. Then one fine day, when he was going across the river Yamuna, he came in contact with a fisherwoman whose name was Matsyagandha. Matsyagandha essentially means the smell of fish. She didn't smell like fish at all. Shantanu was charmed by her for some reason, and he immediately decided to marry her. This fisherwoman lady was actually younger than his own son. She said, "I don't mind marrying you, but could you please talk to my father first?" She said. So when Shantanu met the fisherman, he said, "You can marry my daughter, but only on one condition." And what is that? That only her son will be your successor. They will be the kings of Hastinapur. Shantanu said, "That's not going to be possible at all." And he said, "Why?" "Because I have already installed my only son as the crown prince." Fisherman said, "That's your problem." Shantanu left the place, came back to Hastinapur, his capital, but he was not happy. And his unhappiness became extremely visible to his son, whose name then was Devavrata. Now, Devavrata went to his father and he asked, "What's the matter?" His father said, "Nothing." But then Devavrata decided to take the matter in his own hands. He went to the charioteer who was with the father the other day, and then he asked what exactly happened. He didn't have much of a clue, but he said, "I can take you to the place from where he returned sad." And that's how this charioteer took Devavrata to the house of the fisherman. Now, when he was there, the fisherman explained this whole situation. So for that, Devavrata said, "The only person that who can promise your grandchild or your daughter's children can be on the throne is me, because I'm the crown prince. So I'm going to relinquish all my rights to the throne and my title as a crown prince for the sake of my father's happiness." And that should have solved the problem. But no, it didn't. The fisherman said, "You may not want the throne, but tomorrow your children who will have a better genes than you might seek the throne and kill my grandsons." So to resolve this matter, Devavrata said, "If that's what it bothers you, then I will never marry in my life." You might think the problem is solved. Actually, no. The fisherman said, "Well, you don't quite need a marriage to have children, do you?" So then Devavrata made the solemn promise not to ever be with any woman or create any child, an everlasting oath of celibacy at the age of 19. Somehow, the conviction of Devavrata convinced the fisherman, and he decided to agree on marrying his daughter to the king. This act of Devavrata, along with the promise, got him the title Bhishma, a person who never breaks his promise. Now, after marrying Matsyagandha, Shantanu named her Satyavati. And after the marriage, in quick succession, they had two sons, Chitrangada and Vichitravirya. After the death of Shantanu, Chitrangada ascended the throne, but in some stupid squabble, he lost his life. So then Bhishma put Vichitravirya on the throne. But Vichitravirya was neither good looking nor was in a good health. So he was sort of a cripple. Then it so happened, after marrying Ambika and Ambalika, Vichitravirya died. At that time, the kingdom future was in jeopardy. At that time, Satyavati said, marry the two princes yourself and ascend the throne of Hastinapur. By then, Shantanu and even the fishermen had died. But Bhishma said, I'm already in the oath, so I cannot let go of my oath to celibacy and never to claim the throne of Hastinapur. Satyavati said, of what is your promise if the future of the kingdom is in jeopardy? Bhishma said, Mother, my promise was not conditional. It was absolute and totally unconditional. I'm not going to let go of my vow for any reason, he said. If you look at the story carefully, fisherman wanted his grandsons to be on the throne, but he never thought that they would not be there for long, that they would be gone before they even had a chance to rule and reign over the kingdom. Original bloodline of Kuru dynasty ended with Bhishma. The Bhishma was the last Kuru. This story teaches us one thing. Life doesn't go as planned. We can't plan future, which is why Vyasa recollects this Vedic saying along with the story. Gatam shoko na kartavyo. Don't worry about what is gone. Bhavishyam naiva chintaye. Don't worry about the future. Vartamanena kalena pravartante vichakshana. Those who live in the moment and do whatever the best they can in the moment are vichakshana or the wise. So if your plan is going not as planned, then don't worry. That is life. I hope you like this story. Until next time, pranam and namaste.